Hi, I'm just going to give you some quick tips to help you make your newsletters get more opens, which is what we all want to do really. I'm going to rattle through them quickly, so take notes, or you can re-listen to the narration and see the images to help you at the end if you want to. So let's start with the first one. The first tip is to know your audience. If you know who you're trying to reach, then you can make sure that the content that you deliver works for them. The second one is to know how you can help them. What kind of thing do you do or do you know about that will help them in some way? Because people like stuff that they're learning from, so that would be your answer, wouldn't it? It's deliver something they want, they'll open your newsletters. Number 3, you need to get a subject line that people will go, oh, that looks interesting, I need to open that. Newsletter August 2022 won't cut it. Anything that says newsletter in the title tends to get, at best, parked, at worst, deleted. So what you need to look at is what will get their attention. Ideally something to do with what it is that you're going to write about in the main body of the newsletter. Tip number 4, start with a headline. Now I know you've already had a subject line in there, but if you can get a really good headline that engages people, then they'll carry on reading. So it might be something like what all your audience, so if you're trying to reach coaches, what all coaches need to know to an outcome they want. That kind of headline gets people to start reading. Number 5, add an image to draw the eye. Now, some people make the headline and the image all one, which you can do as long as one doesn't get in the way of the other. But an image sells 1,000, an image says 1,000 words, and on their own, images don't work usually because you need some explanation. But they do draw people. They make the text have more energy. It gives the article life, whatever it is you're writing. Tip number 6, lead with value. And that's really important. The first thing people want is something that's for them, not anything about what you're doing, what your company's doing, what you've won. They might sort of want to know that vaguely afterwards, but if you don't tell them, they won't notice. So stick with what can you deliver that helps them. Then you've got the link. So I tend to use blogs. So I use the beginning of a blog, then I link it to my website for people to read the rest, rather than stuff an enormous long 500-word article into a newsletter. But some people put the whole article, but they write shorter articles. It's entirely up to you, but somewhere you need to link to your website that somewhere relevant to what that value is that you're delivering, where they can find out more about that particular issue or subject. Tip number 8, you can put a promo in, but put it second. And I tend to keep them fairly short. And again, just this is available, you can have this, find out more here, link them to the website. People don't want to be sold at. People love to buy, but they don't want to be sold at. End with more value. Now, it's hard to sometimes do this, because I tend to base my newsletters on blogs. I can just put another blog in there, but it might be a tip. It might be a bit of wisdom. It doesn't have to be massive. It can be just short, but it needs to deliver something that will leave them going, these guys know what they're talking about. They're really good at this. And that's the impression that you want to leave them with, so that when your next newsletter lands, they'll go, oh, this was good last time. I need to read this one. And finally, add a PS with a link to something that's relevant. Now, I know I've said that's earlier as well, but there's nothing wrong with a PS. People sometimes read PSs, and they read them particularly if they're in a sort of handwriting font, because they look more personal that way. And again, a PS with a bit of information with no link is not much, it doesn't earn its place in your newsletter. So make sure you've got a link. So that's my 10 tips. and it will help to get people to rave about you and your expertise, as well as me getting people to rave about them. So that's Inside News. If you want to contact me and you want to talk about any of that or ask me any questions, that's how you get in touch with me. Have a great day.